Have you ever found yourself wishing out loud something? Like, thinking, I wish people would stop asking me, what are you going to do after you graduate USM? Huh? I know how that feels like. Or, saying like, I wish people would realize not all engineers are boring and square. We have a life too, I know how that feels like. I too have my own wish. And I wish that people would realize that lifelong learning is a strength, not a weakness. In fact, in an ideal world, this is my wish for tomorrow and beyond. Now, I'd like to ask you a favor now. I'd like to ask everyone to close your eyes. Please close your eyes. Okay. Good. Everyone's closed their eyes. Now, I want you to imagine a world where people will learn for the sake of learning. There'll be no more exams to keep you on track. There'll be no more report cards to grade you. Instead, there will be an eagerness to learn simply for the sake of learning. Now imagine a world where people are curious, and every time they don't know something, they're curious, they find out about it, they seek out knowledge. There's a saying, curiosity killed the cat. But in this vision, there are no dead cats. Meow. Imagine right next to you is Eric Clapton, and he's teaching you how to play his song, Tears in Heaven. Exactly where to put your fingers and where to play it exactly at the same place as he does. This is virtual reality, where you can learn directly from the masters themselves. Imagine yourself at the Grammys. I see your face, and there is nothing I would change, because you're amazing just the way you are. And Bruno Mars is telling you all his secrets on how to write a hit song. Now you can open your eyes. Please open your eyes. Now, how did that feel like? Do you think it's possible? Do you think what I'm saying is ludicrous? Crazy? Well, today here at TEDxUSMNibongTebal, I'm about to tell you that this is a possibility, and here's how we can go about it. Now, sometimes people say, I've heard people say, I learned that in school, but I gave back to teacher already. Now, as a teacher myself, I find it really offensive. So, when you graduate from USM, please never ever say that. I would like to use myself as an example, but before that, I'm sure when you think about learning, a lot of people think about learning as exams, as memorizing numbers, memorizing formulas, doing this, forcing yourself to stay late at night because you didn't study for 5 weeks and then you want to study really hard because tomorrow's the exam and you have no other choice. Or everything is a chore, everything becomes forced, everything is because you have to study lah. You're already there, right? So I have to study exam tomorrow. But I'm saying that exams, learning actually doesn't have to be like that. You can learn for the sake of learning. Take me for an example. I have 4 degrees in music. My first undergrad was from University of Westminster in UK in music arranging. Then I received a scholarship. I went to Berklee College of Music in the United States, graduated jazz composition and guitar performance, summa cum laude. Then moved coast to coast from Boston to California. Right in the heart of Silicon Valley, I did my master's in music in jazz studies. And yet, I still continued learning. Last year, I went to, trying to think last year, okay, last year I went to freezing Shanghai. And the reason was I wanted to study with Wayne Krantz. Now Wayne Krantz is an amazingly funky guitarist from New York City. And he was performing a residency, I caught his concerts, and I took a 2-hour lesson with him. And because I wanted to study groovy, free jazz improvisation with him. And I learned a lot. And inspired by that, I released my album called Postcard dari Shanghai. Now, I couldn't have released the album if I didn't take the lesson and be inspired by his wisdom, knowledge. And it's currently the album I'm most proud of. Thank you. Earlier this year, in January, I made a trip to Thailand to one of the most prestigious music universities there. They have a great music department, Mahidol University, for the Thailand International Jazz Conference. Attended the conference, I went for the workshops. But one of the big reasons was Jonathan Kreisberg, amazing kind of swing contemporary jazz guitarist from New York City, was there. And I wanted to study with him, wanted to take a lesson with him. And it wasn't cheap, you know. He charges about $100 an hour. And I took a 2-hour lesson with him. But what happened was, I asked him a question that I've been asking people for the past 10 years. Every time I go to a workshop, a clinic, a teacher, a guitarist, a jazz musician, I always ask them the same question. And it's regarding how to create long, flowing, improvised jazz lines. And his answer was probably one of the best answers I ever received from someone. It inspired me, it informed my teaching, and now I share it with my students. And so, talking about students, I have actually a student who's studying composition with me. And she's a precocious 11-year-old studying how to write classical pieces. And after writing piano pieces for a few months, she came to me and she said, I want to learn how to write a pop song. Actually, more like, I want to learn how to write a pop song. 11, right? And then I said, have you written a pop song before? And so I said, well, today we're going to learn how to write a pop song. Now, did her parents force her to learn how to write a pop song? No. Did her teachers force her to learn how to write a pop song? No. Did I force her to learn how to write a pop song? No. She herself wanted to learn how to write a pop song. She wanted to learn for the sake of learning. So this is to me almost like a little sign, you know, the little signs that this is the direction. Things are already happening. Things are changing. Learning doesn't have to be for exams anymore. People want to learn. And she's 11, so to me that's like a good sign of the future. Now let's talk about curiosity. You know how sometimes you're in the mall, in a shopping mall, and then you overhear a conversation, and it'll be a little kid, there usually is a little kid lah, that is very curious. So we'll ask the parents all sorts of questions. Some of you may have been that little kid. And you ask questions like, Mommy, why is it like that? Or ask your dad, Daddy, how come ants, right, they walk all in one straight line like that? And then, you know, 9, 10 times out of 10, right, usually the parents are like, hey, don't need to know lah, you're a kid. Why you ask such questions? Don't ask questions like that. But in my vision, I see parents encouraging their kids to be curious, instead of dismissing it. Curiosity should be encouraged and guided. Now, as an educator, I feel that, as a music educator, I won't like tell you exactly, you must read this article and this guitar lesson and this book and listen to this song from 1 minute 35 seconds to 1 minute 38 seconds because it's the best part ever. I mean, sometimes I do lah, but the point is that I won't give you everything, Guided learning is not spoon feeding. It means that, for example, is anyone here a fan of, let me think, John Mayer? Any John Mayer fans? Okay, maybe one John Mayer fan. So I might ask you, have you ever listened to B.B. King? And if you haven't, guess what? John Mayer was inspired a lot by B.B. King. Stole a lot of the kind of guitar licks he uses. And they jammed together before. If anyone's heard the song Neon by John Mayer, that song, if you listen to the live version, is inspired by Charlie Hunter. Charlie Hunter is an amazing jazz guitarist. They also worked together in 2006 to record the song In Repair. Anyone know this guy named Ed Sheeran? Okay, some people know him. Good. That's pretty cool. But have you listened to Damien Rice before? When Ed was 11 years old, he went to a Damien Rice concert and got to talk to Damien Rice. 11, talk to Damien Rice. After that, he was so inspired, he went straight back home and started writing songs at 11. So the point is, you have to be curious. You have to spark curiosity. Ignite the love of learning. Go deeper. Be more knowledgeable. Be more curious. Because being more knowledgeable makes you a better person. And learning never ends. So be curious. 20 years ago, if I wanted to find The Advancing Guitarist, a book by Professor Mick Goodrick of Berklee College of Music, I would have to dress up, get ready, take a bus, go take the LRT, take another bus so I could go to MPH bookstore in Bukit Bintang Plaza and then ask the lady whether they had it, and then they show me to the aisle and then I go through one by one until I find it, maybe. And then I go back there because they will usually cover it and ask them to open. Anyway, long process lah. So then eventually I got to look at the book, right? And I was like, wow, the secret of the... There must be a secret of the universe quote somewhere here. Maybe this one. The secret of the universe is revealed to me. I knew you would be useful someday. Then I opened the back of the book. The secret of the price of the universe is revealed to me. Then I realized that, okay, books that are important are around 60 to 300 ringgit. When you were a student 20 years ago, right, a bit like, but already came all the way, what? Then stress. Anyways, now I can wake up in the morning, before I brush my teeth, before I shower, my hair complete mess, I wear my shorts, I have a Quantan t-shirt that I have never it's quite old lah. I go online, I Google The Advancing Guitarist Mick Goodrick, I open the Amazon page, wow, I got review, I get to find out whether good or not. See the preview, wow, I get to look inside. So very cool, right? And then I can choose to buy the ebook or buy the physical version or the Advancing Guitarist PDF. Download the illegal version and then feel really guilty because my dad's a writer. So don't do that. But the point is that the internet has made all this knowledge accessible from all around the world to you, straight, before you shower. I can also take a guitar lesson from one of my favorite jazz guitarists, Tuck Andrews, via Skype, which I did. I'm in KL, he's in California, and I can ask him, hey, how do you do the George Benson picking thing? Do you hold the pick like this? Do you strum like this? How do I keep the melody going with the bass line, and how do I make the chords all flowing like that? I can ask him all these questions. He's over there, just woke up. I have to stay up awake, or the other way around. Point is that Skype has enabled borderless learning. Now there's a new thing that I've been checking out. Who has heard of Facebook Live? Anyone heard of? Okay, you guys cool lah. Okay, cool, good. A lot of people have found out. So Facebook Live is basically, I can take my phone, again, this time after I shower and brush my teeth, put it in front of on my desk, and I can actually teach a guitar lesson to anyone who wants to watch. And I've had people from Taiwan, Macau, Hong Kong ask me questions about my guitar playing, and in real time they ask me, and I answer them back in real time. So again, Facebook Live has enabled borderless learning. You could be in your apartment, like small apartment like Hong Kong. Macau is also very small, very expensive. But the point is that we're connected. Now, the other thing is, think of this. You're in a room, you're on stage, and the bass player is on the left. He's playing a bass line. The guitarist is on the right. The drummer. And you're there and you walk into the bass player. How are you doing that? How are you doing that? You walk to the guitarist and it's like, oh, he's strumming like that. He's using this pick. That must be the secret. He's using an expensive pick. Oh yeah. So you can check out the band. And then you're there and you're learning from the people that you admire and just walking around observing them. It's virtual reality. Now, it's not gotten to that stage where you can actually walk and look from the shoulder and everything like that. But right now, what the technology has enabled so far, if you use the Oculus Rift, is that you can be in one place and the camera, you can look around everywhere. And you can see everything in 360. There's a lot of videos now on YouTube where you can do that. If you have your phone, even cool, you can just move it like that. Oh, that's how it looks like. Oh, like that. It's available. So the technology is already moving there. Now imagine if you want to learn about dinosaurs. And you just stand there and you're like, oh, T-Rex very big. You look and it's like, oh, very tall. And then a guy from New York, maybe an archaeologist, explains to you why is it that big, what do they eat, all that kind of stuff. I can explain, the guy can explain. The point is that the technology, I believe that virtual reality technology is the next thing. And I think it will enable borderless learning, where you're no longer just reading about something, you actually can be immersed in it. If you want to learn how to play in a band, you can actually be part of the band, be on stage and learn from them. If you want to see a dinosaur, you can see, oh, it's that big. And you will remember if you see a T-Rex that big, as opposed to like, T-Rex is about approximately the size of a second-story floor. Maybe you're not imaginative, but if you see in front of you, you should remember. So these are all the things that I picture. And I believe that technology can enable borderless learning. Hashtag learn for the sake of learning. Hashtag be curious. Hashtag borderless learning. This is what I've been practicing. This is what I believe in. This is my vision for tomorrow and beyond. Thank you.